Let's move along now. Massive win for our next guest this past weekend. Dominant win, now a 3-division world champion. He defeats Brian Norman. Everyone said he was going to be the boogeyman. Everyone said this was going to be the one. This was going to be the one. This was going to be the fight in which he gets exposed, knocked out, all these things and more. In the end, another masterclass, dare I say, for our next opponent. He is the one and only Devin Haney, who is kind enough to join us from, I do believe, all the way still in the Middle East. There he is. Hello, Devin. How are you, my man?
What's up, Ariel? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Feeling good about what you did on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm happy with the performance. I went in there and I did everything I said I was going to do. I stuck to my game plan, and I got the victory. And I looked good doing it. So I'm happy with the performance for sure.
Are you at a hookah lounge right now?
I'm at a restaurant, hookah lounge. Yeah, that.
Damn.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Are we annoying you? Is this a nuisance in your life?
No. I love to hear from Ariel. I always love to talk to you. And yeah, so I'm happy to be on with you.
Okay, I appreciate it. None of these haters, right? I see you going after the haters online right now. All the media guys, you're not happy with a lot of your counterparts, a lot of your colleagues in the business.
Well, I just know that a lot of people, wrote me off. They didn't believe that I could get it done. I think a lot of people underestimated me. My opponent underestimated me. The media, the fans underestimated me. And yeah, I just showed that, I'm not one to be doubted. I'm not one to be, taken lightly.
Do you use this as motivation, as fuel? Do you listen to that stuff before the fight and say, all right, I'm going to show you guys? Do you pay attention to that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, of course, me going into this fight, underdog was very surprising for me. But, I just used it as fuel. I seen what everyone was saying, that I was going to get knocked out. And, over this, it's been a little over a long year for me. A lot of people said a lot of things. And I knew that the time was going to come where I was going to have to put up or shut up. And I was either going to make them, eat their words, or I was going to make their words, true. And this was the time. And so I took it very serious.
When you dropped him in the second round, did you say something to him?
No, I didn't say nothing. I just looked at him. I didn't say anything.
Now, how close do you think you were to stopping him?
I think I was very close. I think the ref did a phenomenal job. But we were exchanging, and then he broke it up, and he warned me for something. I forgot what it was. But I think maybe from behind the head or something like that. I'm not sure. But I think that if that didn't happen, I think I would have stopped him. But Allah's perfect planner, everything happens for a reason. I was able to still, showcase, with me being versatile. I think that if I would have knocked him out in the second round, they would have said I got him with a good shot. It was a lucky shot or whatever. I was able to show, my skills. I showed my full arsenal, and I'm happy with the outcome.
Are you disappointed that you didn't stop him?
No. Like I said, I'm happy with the outcome.
Okay.
I think that I think that I was able to showcase my game, showcase, my skills, showcase my IQ. I was able to, take a few shots and show my chin. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the outcome.
A lot has been made of how little he threw, his lack of activity. Were you surprised by that? Or do you think that's just taking credit away from you?
No, that's everyone. Everyone against me. They have a low punch output. They have the lowest punch output against me. And, that's for me, handicapping him. We studied him, day in and day out. So we knew what he was going to do. We knew his weaknesses. We knew the things that he was good at. So and the things that he was good at, we took away from him.
Do you think that you exposed Brian Norman because there was a lot of hype around him, or do you think he just met you, the better fighter, and can still have a much higher ceiling and go far in this sport?
Yeah, no, I think he just fought me, and like I said, I said that I was too experienced, and I was just a far better fighter than him, and I was on a different level. I think that he will still have success like he's had in the past against those kind of fighters. But I am a special fighter, and I just showed that.
A great moment towards the end of the fight between you and your dad, in between rounds, where you say "I love you" to him, and it was just awesome to see that. What in that moment sparked that? What prompted you to have this exchange with your dad?
Well, well, I don't really remember it that clear of exactly what sparked it, but I just remember, thinking in a fight that, my dad was right about everything. I mean, my dad, along with my other coaches, but my dad, drew up the game plan and it worked to a T. Everything worked, and it wasn't just the game plan in the fight. The game plan in the build up and everything. Everything was strategic, and it all came from my dad. Everything that we were very strategic. We were very like we we were, God, people were saying that I was scared. Everything that we did was premeditated, and people were falling for the trap. Brian Hummer fell for the trap. They were underestimating me, and it all just worked out in our favor.
Can you give me some examples? Like, what are you talking about? I remember in the face-off, people were like, "Oh, this is a different side of." Are you talking about things like that in the build-up to the fight?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of the things that I said when I was in front of him, and I was in at the press conference, and I was bouncing in front of him, that was all premeditated. Everything was planned. And we planned all of that, and everything from when we were facing off to when I stepped forward and I stepped closer to him. I was showing dominance. Everything was premeditated. We planned and we worked on everything, and we were ready. We came ready. I think that Brian Norman and his team, they weren't ready. They weren't ready for that moment. But I think that just experience is what took me over the edge and what just separated me from them.
It got heated between his dad, your dad, the two camps, all that stuff. Did it make the victory any more sweeter because of all that stuff leading up to it?
No, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like I said before, no matter what he says or whatever, no matter what I say, when we get in that ring, I'm gonna do my job. I could care less. His dad, he talked a lot, but I was gonna do whatever I was gonna do regardless. Whether he talked or whether he didn't talk, the outcome was gonna be the same.
Have you rewatched the fight?
No, I haven't. No.
I'm just curious, throughout the broadcast, they kept showing Conor Benn ringside, and he was yawning, and he was sleeping on Eddie's shoulder, and I'm just wondering what you thought of some of that perceived shade throughout your fight on the telecast.
Actually, yeah.
Eddie's little puppet. Eddie is his master, so he does what Eddie wants him to do. Conor Benn has accomplished nowhere near what I've accomplished. If we both were to retire today, ask boxers, ask the fans, whose career would they rather have? My career or Conor Benn's career? And I'm younger than Conor Benn. He hasn't accomplished nothing. He hasn't done nothing in the sport of boxing. His biggest win is against a weight drain guy, and then he lost the first fight. He had a rematch to get a win against a guy that was weight drained. He did a rematch clause, did all these stipulations. That's his biggest win of his career.
Well, as you know, and your dad has addressed this as well. Yeah, go ahead.
And the guy that he lost to, that he had the weight drain to put all these stipulations on, was never even world champion. And I love Chris Eubank, but he was never even world champion. So you can't even put us in the same sentence. He's nowhere near my level. And like I said, he's Eddie's little puppet. He does what Eddie says. Eddie has been hating on me for a while now. Every chance he gets, he talks down on me. Eddie Hearn. Yeah, like I said.
Keep going. What did you want to say?
I said what I had to say.
Okay. Can I want to read the quote from Eddie, because I know your dad responded to it. He said, "You are fighting scared," meaning you. He's fighting scared. He doesn't want to engage at any moment during the fight. You have Turki Al-Sheikh, who is paying the money. Haney had the fight at Times Square against Ramirez, and now this. I told him after the fight, you have to switch it up. You can't keep fighting like that because no one is going to want to tune in and watch. What is your reaction to that quote, that criticism from Eddie Hearn?
You sound like Eddie Hearn is hating. Eddie Hearn is he's like a bitter ex-girlfriend of mine. Every chance he gets, he talks bad about me to this person and that person. I hear everything that he says to promoters, to fighters. Eddie Hearn cannot stop bringing my name up.
Where's this coming from, though? Because you had a great run together, and it seemed like even despite the fact that you weren't working together, that there was a mutual respect.
Eddie Hearn is bitter. Eddie Hearn said I wasn't. After the fight, counted me out. He said I wasn't gonna make. anything over $1 million. My worth dropped. I was chinny. I couldn't take a punch. I didn't have no confidence. He said I was going to lose to Brian Norman. Eddie Hearn, every chance he gets, he hits.
Do you want to fight one of Eddie's guys next in order to stick it to them?
I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody. I don't care.
Who does make sense for you next?
Whoever my dad says.
Do you have a preference?
Whoever my dad says.
Okay, so none of the names, the top guys, there's a bunch of them right now. Obviously, Ryan's out there, Barrios is out there, even Pacquiao, all these guys. Anyone in particular?
You guys know me. You guys know my body. You guys know my character. You guys know the type of fighter that I am. I will fight anybody. It doesn't matter. Whoever my dad chooses, whoever he chooses, that's who I'll fight.
Okay. Can I just ask, when will we see you again?
I don't know. I just fought like 2 days ago.
I know, but like in a perfect world for you, do you want to come back in the summer? Do you think you'll come back in the spring, in the fall? Like, how long do you want to be out?
Doesn't matter.
I like watching you fight. That's why.
Oh no, I appreciate that. I trained yesterday. I trained today, and I'm gonna train again tomorrow. It doesn't stop. This is a lifestyle for me. It does not. It doesn't matter. I will fight anybody, anytime, any place. I'm a true throwback fighter. And Eddie Hearn said I fight for money. I don't fight for money. I fight for legacies. That's why I am fighting the best fighters in the world, time in and time out. Conor Benn fights for money. That's why he's never been world champion.
Would you like to fight him?
It does not matter what I just told you.
Okay.
I told you I will fight anybody.
All right.
It does not matter to me.
Can I just ask, how good did you feel at 47 as opposed to the weights you fought at in the past?
Yeah, I felt much better at 147. I think my performance showed it, much more of my natural self. And yeah, I'll be at 147 for a while.
Okay, so for the foreseeable future, we're sticking with this weight class.
Yeah, I want to make the biggest, best fights happen against the best fighters in the world. So 147, I'm champion now. And I want to pick up more belts. And yeah.
Okay, last question. I did see Jack Catterall weigh in, and you said, ask your coach what would happen if I fought you. What were you referring to there?
Well, his coach is Bozy. That's Boots' dad, right? That's his coach.
Yes, sir.
So I just said, I think that he was talking out of turn. I think he should ask his coach. You know, if him fighting me is a good fight, if that's really something that they want to do.
Okay. Thank you, Devin. Congrats, man. Appreciate it very much. Great performance. Always appreciate you coming on and talking to us.
For sure. Thank you, Ariel.
Was there anything else you wanted to say?
No,
I feel like there's something else you want to say. They're telling me to wrap. That's why. So I just want to. I was going to go longer, but I don't want to take up your time.
No, I didn't. No, my phone is actually on 3%.
Oh, damn.
No, it's nothing more that I want to say. Thank you for the interview. As always.
You're the man.
Talking to you.
You're the man, Devin. Much love. Salam alaikum, my brother.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
There he is, Devin Haney, the man. We don't want another phone to die, right?
We don't.
Because then I'll feel sad about that. I still feel sad about the Arman Tsarukyan situation.
Yeah, I feel like getting Haney back tomorrow
would be a problem. Yeah, everything is a big problem, you know. Or, you know, I mean, he was fired up about the Eddie stuff.
And the Conor Benn stuff.
Eddie Conor. What do you call him, his puppet? You said Conor is Eddie's puppet, right? How times have changed. Not that long ago, they were boys. Not that long ago, he was like his guy. He was bigging him up.
100%.
Listen, I think Devin is great for the sport. I know people don't like him, don't like his dad. To me, it's box office when he fights. It's must-see TV. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but they talk the talk and they walk the walk. Look at Devin Haney's resume. Look at the names that he has fought, I don't know, let's say 5 years. Brian Norman Jr., Jose Ramirez, Ryan Garcia, Regis Prograis, Vasily Lomachenko, George Kambosos, Jojo Diaz, Jorge Linares, Eurykis Gamboa. I mean, that's an insane lineup of guys.
The craziest part, he's only 27.
Yeah, that is
done
insane.
all that by
That is
27.
He's younger than Conor Benn.
Yeah, and the one blemish on the resume was overturned. Like it's an incredible resume.
It really is. But people, for some reason, they get it. I think, there it is. I think that, they get annoyed about the 0-2, but I think he doesn't have X-Pac heat, with all due respect to my friend Sean Waltman. I think people want to see him lose. And ultimately, some people, not everyone, but ultimately, that's fine. Like, the worst thing that you can have is an apathetic public. As a fighter, that's the worst thing. The best thing is actually people wanting to see you lose. Floyd Mayweather made an entire career based off that. When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, people were somewhat apathetic. The general public, the hardcore boxing fans loved him, or at least respected him, wanted to watch him fight, were excited about his fights, would talk about his fights. He'd be on Friday Night Fights or, HBO, whatever. Then he becomes Money Mayweather, and he becomes the biggest star in all of combat sports and the highest earner and all that stuff.
The key, though, is what Mayweather was able to do, which is convert that into pay-per-view sales, convert that into box office, right? Brian Norman Jr., great fight, but when you start talking about Conor Benn, the rematch with Ryan Garcia, this is where you make the money. This is how you convert that people wanting you to lose into the financial gain. And that has to be the next step.
Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.